Hello everybody and welcome to From Attendee to Author, the Blind Perspective. I'm Mari, I am your hostess for this evening, and I am here today to give some tips about blogging and also starting as a beginner author, and also talk about a little bit about myself.
Remind questions at the end.
And also a little bit of questions in the end. Don't mind my little whistling. Okay, a little story about myself. I started getting into anime when I was 9 years old, when Cartoon Network started showing Battle of the Planets, or G-Force by its English name, and I thought it was pretty unique in the animation style, since I always loved watching the barbaric cartoons like Huckleberry Finn, Top Cat. Even SWAT Cats was one of my favorite cartoons of all time when I was younger. And when I saw this, I'm like, what is this? This seems different from what I've been watching, and I saw a few episodes here and there. The most iconic scene that I always remember from that series was the robotic peacocks in some kind of theme park. I still remember that scene.
Oh God, that was a thing.
It was. And of course, 2 years later, Tsunami then started, and I still remember how Steve Bloom, one of my favorite voice actors, was Tom the Robot in the beginning, and coming home and watching Voltron, and then years later watching Sailor Moon, Rurouni Kenshin, even Pokemon and Digimon on Fox Kids for a while. And then more anime came on TV. I even still remember how Adult Swim started late night out of nowhere, and was like, what is this? And started watching Inuyasha. And until before it became a little too long.
Oh, Optimus was sweet.
Okay, well, as I was getting into anime, I was diagnosed at the age of 15 with retinitis pigmentosa, and it was kind of hard for me. It's basically an eye condition that attacks the retinas and makes me go blind over time, and it usually starts as a tunnel vision, but with me it started with night blindness, and there were times where I had to tap for things on the floor. And imagine if your mom is handing out a glass of water in front of you and you're reaching around for it. That was me. And I didn't think it was weird until I was sent to an eye specialist and heard him yell, "What do you mean there's nothing wrong with her? There is something wrong with her." And that's when I was sent down to Miami, and they found out what I had. And, well, right now I have no central vision. I'm able to see on my peripherals, and it wasn't easy being picked on while in high school, being told that I can't be able to drive. I mean, my dream car was a Volkswagen Beetle. If I would be able to drive, I would have had a blue one in my driveway. So it was not easy seeing one come down the road. So, let's see. Is it here? Okay. some other things to include in this panel. I'm mostly a blogger, and I did graduate from University of Central Florida with a major in humanities and a minor in writing and rhetoric. And around this time, I was also starting to go to anime conventions. My first one was J-Con in 2004. And yeah, a lot of good memories, a lot of things took place, and it ended back in 2009, and it turned into Florida Anime Experience. And all thanks to that, I was able to write my first book, known as The Blind Perspective, Convention Stories from the Dark, which is available on Amazon and Barnes & Noble. And it tells my stories from being a sighted attendee all the way down to doing press as a blind person, and I got to tell the really fun times and how I met my friends and how I really got into writing this book and my tips for writing your own book. I really wanted to start doing something that was meaningful to myself and to my friends and also my fiance in the crowd. And
Hey everybody.
And I thought, why not start off with a memoir of all sorts, since we did go to a lot of these conventions. And it was not easy remembering most of the details, but I was able to tell my stories and even built new experiences along the way. That's why there's going to be a volume 2 later on once I get a little more stories in the mix. And the first thing when it comes to starting as an author, a good way to start is start where you are in school. I mean, you could start in high school or start in college, which college has a ton of writing degrees. You could get a journalism degree or a creative writing degree or a minor to go with the degree that you're in already. I mean, I went for writing and rhetoric, which was the one I got. And it teaches a lot of different types of writing, which is a good thing to know because you don't know what you want to write until you notice where you're good at. And I've taken many classes like argumentative writing, writing for publishing, writing for different digital media, all that sorts of stuff. And of course I did have to build my e-portfolio, which I will mention in the blogging part. And college is a really good start. Well, another thing is looking into different writers groups, whether it's at a library or at your local school or even at a convention where there's panels about writing. I mean, last night went to 2 panels about creating good guys, as in the hero, and creating bad guys, which was very entertaining and very informative if you're a fiction writer, since my 3rd book I'm doing deals with the hero and the bad guy type of idea. Another thing is reading other writers' works to get a feel of what they write, and even reviewing them. I'm part of NetGalley, in which I get to read a ton of authors' books and getting to review them and say, hey, I like this. Hey, this is in my favorite genre, like science fiction or fantasy, romance. I am a sucker for romance stories. I can't help it. And a good thing is you sometimes get to connect with the authors after reading their work. I mean, I got to connect with one author by the name of Mimi Jean Pampaloff, who writes a lot of romantic comedies, and Kaz LaFave recently, who writes the Nemesis series, which is a pretty interesting way of writing from 3 different characters' points of view. Any questions on being an author? Anyone? Yes, none?
Yeah. Sorry, you over there.
Yeah. What tools have you used to help you with getting around since you can't see so well? Like you've got some kind of box up there with you.
Oh, you're talking about my Braille Sense U2. It's sorry if I'm charging it because sometimes it freezes on me. I'm hoping to upgrade to the next level, which has Android technology. I tend to take notes in Braille in order to know what I want to write, or if I'm studying for a test, which I'm going for my job certification at the moment. And it helps me keep more focused on what I want to write or where I'm going for different things. It just keeps me in a way of, keeping things better in, I guess, better to memory, or keep in mind. That's what I mean. To keep things in mind for either writing or studying for different things. And I do use JAWS, which is a screen reader on my PC, in order to navigate around websites that I would be researching for my writing, whether it's a blog post or after a book I've read and need to review it. Also able to type in Word, things like that. And I do use a tablet, a Galaxy tablet, and an iPad in order to use different ways of learning different screen readers and mobility devices. And any other questions?
Yeah, we've got one over here on the far side.
Yes.
How exactly are you able to watch animated movies? I mean, I know that like major theaters do like these like
Audio description?
yeah, that's the one. But
Yeah.
how do you do that kind of stuff at home?
Well,
I'll actually answer that part too. Right here, me. I help with that part. I describe the stuff that's going on. That means most of the time we watch dubs.
because not all dubs are bad. There are a lot of good ones, and I do enjoy the dubs from Funimation, Aniplex.
Sentai Filmworks does a lot of good
Yes.
ones nowadays.
Yes, they have come a long way ever since they were ADV films, to tell you the truth. I mean, some of the dubs I have on DVD from ADV are still good, like Pre-Tier, Evangelion, Ravion. I still have those. And we were going to start watching one called Food Wars, which was dubbed by Sentai Filmworks.
Yeah, Shokugeki no Soma for everyone who doesn't know that part.
All right.
And yeah, I was gonna say, yeah, it's just because when we tried watching some stuff like, for example, when I tried showing her Nichijou in the original Japanese, she could not follow it at all, and I really couldn't describe it to her because of the rapid fire pace of the jokes, not just the dialogue but the visual gags as well. It's simply too much to keep up with without pausing, rewinding, pausing, rewinding, pausing, rewinding.
The gag that I still remember from that dude riding on a goat's back to school. That.
And asking why can't he ride a goat to school?
This is true.
Okay, wait.
Let's okay, on blogging. Blogging is a really good start when it comes to getting into some sort of journalism. Also, you could start your own thing with YouTube and using WordPress. My blog, Nerdy Chic Universe, which is on WordPress, started back on Blogspot a few years back, and I still remembered walking into Hot Topic and being told their first makeup line, War Paint Cosmetics, was being discontinued, and I was like, what? I need to let everybody know about this, and I started researching different blogging websites, and Blogspot was the first one. If you don't know what it is, it's basically called Blogger, but I don't know why they put Blogspot in each link. Oh well. My first step with that, it's actually researching the different types of blogging websites. Since we talked about JAWS, I would say pick the one that works best for you, because not everybody could use the same kind of website. When I switched over to WordPress, it was because I was using WordPress with making an e-portfolio for my minor program, and I thought, hey, this is very accessible with JAWS, and maybe I should just switch over to WordPress, and it worked out from there. I'm able to get all my posts on there, get a lot of hits that way, a lot more traffic, and also do many categories, since we not only just talk about conventions, heck, I talk about beauty sometimes, even now doing Access Tech, which is like the device you see in front of me, and try to get the word out there that you don't have to be a nerd for one thing, but a nerd for a lot of other stuff. And when I started doing press for conventions, that opened up a whole new world. I mean, I was able to interview Derek Stephen Prince earlier today, which was a very awesome experience. Which that comes up to my next point. Have a good social media presence, because if you're doing press for a convention, they want to see where you're talking about their event, whether it's Twitter, Facebook. Now there's an app called WhatsApp that you could download, which is a newer social media platform. Heck, even some people still use Tumblr nowadays to post pictures from their convention experiences and travels to say, hey, this is where I was. And it gives the conventions an idea of, hey, maybe we should have these people do press for us and tell everyone about our convention and see about having them interview other people. And also, another good thing to have in handy at these conventions are business cards. Promoting your blog, YouTube, and also any other social media network that you use is a good way of saying to the attendees and the guests that, hey, this is where you can find our material, where you can find your interview, and so on, and who we are, basically. A good place I definitely suggest is Staples. They tend to give you a really good deal on 500 business cards, and you could design them pretty easily. When we first started, we had a friend of ours do the logo for us, and we uploaded it from there and added the information. Heck, I even use them for my books when I release them, which, yes, I have another one called Love Found in Cinders, a backwards fairy tale, which is a modern twist on classic fairy tales.
And as by the way, everyone, you're getting a business card. You're getting copies of our business cards with all that stuff on it.
Mm-hmm.
You go, take one, take one, take one.
So, any questions about that? Any?
Anyone? No? No questions? Okay, hon, finishing thoughts then.
Okay,
Take us home.
all right. Some tools that you guys should think about using in case if you're going through writer's block. Definitely use different writing apps such as JotterPad, your Notes app on your phone, or even just writing it down on a piece of paper like a notebook, because using that notebook is pretty handy to get those ideas down or getting a paragraph down as a draft, etc. I always carried a notebook while I was in high school alongside my sketchbook. Heck, even using your sketchbook for a writing idea would also help. Another one would be sending any chapter drafts to any of the writing groups that you're a part of, because it'll help them critique what you have written so far and add a little bit more, because I just did that recently since I'm a little stuck on my latest book. And another tool is something that a lot of creative writing classes suggest to read, and that is On Writing by Stephen King, which is his memoir, and it gives you the kind of toolbox to writing and how to do revising and rewriting, besides his past. But he does talk about how he got to where he is today. You could pretty much get it anywhere you can get books, and also if you're a student and you had to get the book for any writing class, keep it. It'll come in handy someday. Any other questions?
Oh, we actually do have one. Yeah, what's with the balloons?
A friend of ours by the name of Bruce Carr, he's known as No Ordinary Balloon Man.
He's over there in the convention hall right now.
Yep. If you want to have something made, go and talk to him. He has Digimon-inspired balloon creations that he created yesterday, which were very creative, and I'm like surprised that he was able to do something like that, especially the Digimon Emperor's hair. I know that took a lot. Anything else?
No.
Okay, that's
Sign us out then.
all right. That's about it. So I hope you guys enjoyed this panel. I hope you guys learned something, and hoping to see a lot of people write someday, and either if it's fan fiction, a book, or even a blog. Just keep on writing. See ya.